All right, drop whatever you're doing right now. Seriously, put the phone down and pick it back up because this cannot wait. Lumenfield just exploded with breaking news and the countdown clock is ticking loud. Our front office didn't waste a single second, executing a roster move that completely reshuffles the bottom of the depth chart and sends a crystal clear message to the rest of the NFC West. We are not playing. Around this summer, a rookie wide receiver who was out there turning heads in those navy and neon green threads during spring workouts, gone, packed up, shown the door, and on a plane before the ink even dried. And get this, within just 24 hours of hitting the street, the kid had already put pen to paper on a brand new one-year contract with an AFC North powerhouse. That's the NFL for you, folks. Ruthless, fast, and absolutely unforgiving. Now, insiders had been whispering for weeks that general manager John Schneider was quietly carving out elbow room to bring in a seasoned veteran with real mileage on the tires. And here's your first payoff. That vacated roster spot didn't go to another pass catcher. Nope. It was immediately plugged with massive offensive tackle depth. Because at the end of the day, protecting the franchise quarterback is always the top priority. If you bleed midnight blue and action green, and you care more about seeing this team hoist a trophy than watching the Rams do anything remotely successful, smash that like button and subscribe right now. Seriously, every new subscriber sends a little shockwave of panic straight down to Southern California, and we are absolutely here for it. We're kicking things off with this lightning-fast transaction cycle that perfectly illustrates just how cold-blooded and calculated this front office truly is. And stay glued to your screen, because this breakdown is loaded with layers, and there is a massive double cliffhanger waiting for you at the very end that you will absolutely not see coming. From the Pacific Northwest to Steel City. The whispers started quietly out in the Pacific Northwest, but they quickly turned into footsteps echoing all the way across the country to the other side of the map. The name you need to know right now? Levi Wentz. Here's the deal. The former Seattle Seahawks undrafted wide receiver is getting a second shot at living out his NFL dream. And all of this went down before the first whistle of training camp even had a chance to blow. The Pittsburgh Steelers swooped in like they always do and locked Wentz up on a one-year deal as part of a rapid-fire flurry of roster activity on what turned out to be a very eventful Monday afternoon. The transaction was first made official through team announcements and was quickly confirmed by the always reliable Josh Alper over at Pro Football Talk. To clear the necessary space for the young wideout, Pittsburgh simultaneously parted ways with punter Aiden Laros and linebacker Dalen Carnell. For the passionate 12s watching at home, this one stings just a little because Wentz was, honestly, one of the more intriguing physical prospects Seattle had managed to scoop up. Immediately following the college draft, Wentz originally put his signature on the dotted line with Seattle as a priority undrafted free agent, which tells you the organization genuinely believed in his upside. But his time in the rainy city came to an abrupt halt before he even got the opportunity to showcase his skill set in front of the home faithful at Lumenfield. The front office made the executive call to waive the young receiver in order to create a critical roster spot for seasoned veteran offensive tackle Bobby Hart, and they did it right before mandatory minicamp got underway. Here's the real talk, though. Wentz wasn't let go because he failed anybody. He was simply a victim of the brutal numbers game that devours promising young players every single summer without mercy. The coaching staff needed proven, experienced bodies along the offensive line. And when management identifies a structural gap, it's always the undrafted rookies sitting at the fringe of that 90-man offseason roster who get shuffled first. That's just the cold, hard reality of professional football, and it has nothing to do with talent ceiling. What? Do you think John Schneider made a mistake letting this physical receiver walk so early in the summer? Fire your opinion down in the comments below. We want to hear every single take. The physical tools are undeniable. Let's talk about why Wentz was worth taking a shot on in the first place. Standing at an imposing 6'2" and tipping the scales at 200 pounds, he has exactly the kind of physical blueprint that talent evaluators get excited about when filling out the back end of a depth chart. That size-speed combination is precisely the profile that makes front offices willing to roll the dice on a late summer flyer, especially for a guy who could potentially contribute on kick coverage units and special teams packages from day one. His college numbers weren't exactly lighting up the stat sheet across stops at Old Dominion, Albany, and eventually Kansas, but his final collegiate season told a more encouraging story. 16 receptions, 258 yards, and 2 touchdowns, which demonstrated enough raw potential to get scouts genuinely interested. More importantly, the fact that he navigated his way through 3 different collegiate programs speaks volumes about his resilience and mental toughness. And if there is one thing head coach Mike Tomlin absolutely loves in his developmental projects, it's a young man who refuses to quit when the road gets bumpy. There's also a storyline here that goes beyond the football field, and it genuinely gives this routine roster transaction a beautiful human element. Wentz is a native of Pittsburgh and a former standout at Pine Richland High School. So while Seattle may have moved on, this young man is heading home. Sometimes the football gods have a funny way of writing the script. No, if you believe this kind of sharp roster management is exactly what it takes to build a championship-caliber foundation, hit that like button and let's keep this community growing. Every single click genuinely matters. Meet the new offensive architect. While the front office is busy shuffling pieces at the back end of the roster, the coaching staff just answered one of the biggest questions that had the entire fan base holding its collective breath all offseason long. The offensive philosophy is undergoing a significant leadership transition, but head coach Mike McDonald wants everyone to pump the brakes on the panic. The name making waves right now? Brian Flurry. The Seattle Seahawks have officially handed over the keys to the entire offensive operation to their shiny new coordinator. And if you've been losing sleep over losing the brilliant Clint Kubak, who bolted to take the Las Vegas Raiders head coaching job, Mike McDonald has a very simple message for you. Calm down. Everything is going to be just fine. When addressing the media following the conclusion of minicamp, the defensively minded head coach was refreshingly blunt and direct. He made it crystal clear that this is simply this year's version of last year's offense, the same foundational Seahawks attack that was churning out results, now with Flurry layering in fresh modifications and creative wrinkles designed specifically to put the ball in the hands of the team's best playmakers in the most advantageous situations possible. And here's the silver lining that should make every 12 feel genuinely good about this transition. Both Kubak and Flurry were cultivated in the exact same legendary Shanahan coaching tree, with their offensive concepts tracing all the way back to the principles that generated Super Bowl championships decades ago. This isn't some random hire who wandered in with a completely foreign system. This is a guy who speaks the same football language and understands the same core principles that made this offense dangerous. The system itself is a thing of beauty when it's humming at full speed. It leans heavily on a balanced, physical rushing attack that systematically sets up devastating play-action concepts, the kind that keep opposing defensive coordinators awake at night, staring at film until 3 a.m. The famous outside zone stretch schemes are specifically designed to wear down elite defensive ends long before the fourth quarter ever arrives. And we all saw this exact formula produce historic results back in 2013 when a young Russell Wilson was surrounded by a dominant ground game and arguably the greatest defense in NFL history. Can this offense truly maintain its top-tier efficiency under new leadership, or is there going to be an adjustment period? Drop your boldest predictions in the comments. I want to read every single one. A dynamic new weapon in the backfield. Speaking of the ground game, let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, explosive running back Kenneth Walker took his talents and his contract demands all the way to the Kansas City Chiefs for a massive payday. That departure stings. But John Schneider didn't just sit there and shrug his shoulders. The front office answered immediately by drafting the incredibly dynamic Jadarian Price, and this kid brings an entirely different dimension to the Seattle backfield. Price possesses elite burst and the kind of raw, instinctive agility that can match, and in some areas genuinely exceed, the production level Seattle fans came to expect from Walker on Sunday afternoons. But more than that, Price adds a whole new element of vertical speed out of the backfield that forces modern linebackers to drop much deeper in their zone coverages than they're comfortable with, opening up entirely new passing lanes in the intermediate area of the field. Flurry, meanwhile, spent years operating in the high-stakes pressure cooker of the San Francisco offensive environment, helping guide that squad to multiple conference championships and developing an encyclopedic knowledge of complex blocking scheme design. That expertise is precisely what this young, developing roster needs to take the next meaningful step forward. And his deep familiarity with the defensive tendencies of every single division rival gives Seattle an immediate strategic edge during those brutal, short-week preparation windows that always seem to come at the worst possible time. Yeah, if you trust Mike McDonald to keep this team flying high and taking names, smash that like button right now and subscribe if you haven't already. We are building something special in this community. The blockbuster rumor that changes everything, all right. Buckle up, because a breathtaking report just broke the surface and it has the potential to completely shatter the competitive balance of the entire NFC West. The trade market is heating up to a boil, and Seattle is being pushed hard toward making what could be a genuinely historic countermove, a transaction that has apparently been conceptually discussed for nearly 3 years might be lurking right around the corner. Analytics departments on both sides of this potential deal have reportedly been reviewing files since early spring, the name being whispered in every front office hallway across the league right now. Maxx Crosby. Here's the context. That makes this conversation so urgent. The landscape of the NFC West was completely rocked when the Los Angeles Rams executed a stunning blockbuster trade to acquire superstar pass rusher Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns, surrendering an absolutely jaw-dropping haul of draft capital including top picks stretching all the way to 2029. The Rams essentially mortgaged a significant chunk of their future to win right now, and that kind of aggressive move demands an aggressive response. The immediate reaction from sharp analysts at Field Gulls was to point directly toward Las Vegas, identifying the elite edge rusher Maxx Crosby as the single most impactful answer Seattle could possibly acquire on the open market. Now let's be crystal clear here. This is not a report of active negotiations happening today. This is an aggressive, well-reasoned blueprint from an organization that clearly wants to transform an already talented defensive front into an absolute, total nightmare for opposing offenses. And listen, our current defensive front is already loaded with legitimate premium talent. Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy II, DeMarcus Lawrence, Derek Hall, and Uchenna Nwosu. Adding a game-wrecking force of Crosby's magnitude would be the ultimate luxury item. It would provide a genuine insurance policy against the brutal, grinding war of attrition that always defines the final month of every regular season. The statistical resume is genuinely staggering. Crosby proudly leads the entire league in tackles for loss since 2019 while ranking 4th in total quarterback pressures and sacks. The guy is a menace every single snap of every single game. The backstory behind a potential deal got even more fascinating when reports surfaced that the Baltimore Ravens nearly finalized a massive trade for Crosby back in March. reportedly offering multiple first-round picks before ultimately pulling out due to lingering medical concerns flagged during the physical. That reveal tells us two very important things simultaneously. Las Vegas is absolutely open for business at the right price, and any team serious about acquiring him needs immense organizational discipline and a thorough, unblinking medical evaluation process.